All right, let's talk about what's happened. Because I finished something. Well, we finished part of something. We finished all that we could finish for now. But that's not all we're going to get to talk about today. What did I finish? Um just in case there's other people doing the Stephen West glow hair mal cal. It's probably a cal, right? If you're doing that and you don't want to see the finished Clue One um, progress, come back later, watch this another time, or stick around and see what I got finished on it. Mohair. So this is the Mohair Mobile from Stephen West. It is in my project bag that was grandma's. And I am using all stash yarn for this. So let me find the right side here. And I'll insert a picture up here of when I had it laid out last night. So this is where we are. Now this is using a undyed fingering weight yarn from Wool to Die For is where I bought it. And then all this mohair is mohair that I've had for other projects that I've done. So all this is just leftover mohairs. We started off, if you know Stephen West, making a mile-long I-cord. Okay, it was over 150 stitches. Maybe not quite a mile long. And then, once you had that I-cord made, we took our first mohair and made, these are actually triangles. Let me see if that one there looks like a triangle. So you made 11 triangles. Now this pattern calls for 5 different colors of mohair. And I didn't have enough of the mohairs in 5 colors to get the yardage that I needed. So I just got all of my mohair, and I have 11 different colors. So since there were 11 triangles that we made, I went ahead and used each of my mohair to make one of those triangles. So there's my 11th one. And then we had to do some things. And then we did this I-cord here to bind off all of those stitches. And then we went, and once those were all bound off, we used that first mohair again and picked up all of these I-cord stitches. And now we were just working on this section. The absolute worst part of this is these here little bobbly things. Absolutely hate them. Let me see. I have another shawl. This was the Go Dynamo from 24. And we did them here too. When we started this one, I was like, oh no, not those things again. But oh no, how many times did I have to do them? 5 times? Not impressed. I mean, I love them when they're finished. Knitting them, not so much. Not so much. And again, you know, like, let me see if I can. Where were we supposed to start a new color? I think. So from where we picked up at this I cord to where this green, I guess it's a minty color starts, that all is supposed to be one color. But since I'm using more than 5 colors, I just changed mohairs whenever I was done with a certain stitch in there. So anyway, that's all done. Thursday, the next clue comes out. It'll be here, ready and waiting. I thought about blocking it, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't weighed my yarn to see how much yarn section 1 used up, but I'm going to do that. Mohair. I'm going to do that before I start section 2. Okay, what else do we have? I suppose we should start this one. So in completely unrelated news, the yarn hole has accepted new yarn. In all forms, should we say. Oh yeah, I do have a pair of scissors here. I guess we'll start with this one. I have not opened it. I'll use the scissors here and try and cut open this bag so it's not all terribly crinkly. You know, because I needed a new hobby in my life. I obviously did not have enough hobbies. Why not add a new one? And I had been looking and trying to find this hobby for a while. I mean, you can... What I'm trying to say is I've been looking for a good intro device to get started on this new hobby. That came in the mail the other day, and I have argued with it. So it's going to be a little bit before I get that one figured out, because boy oh boy. Oh, I was gonna say there's a card, but it just says thank you. But it looks like there's a mohair everywhere. It looks like there's I didn't look before I opened this. the place I got this from. Trying to keep my address and all of the pertinent information hidden. Is that's where I ordered this from. Divine Dye Works. Because, like I said, needed a new hobby. Oh my. That feels absolutely delicious. Divine Dye Works. This is Glitzy Raspberry. 70% merino, 30% nylon. 6 grams. I purchased myself a Dreaming Robots Nano. We fought the other day with some fiber that I had from a jacket that I had made for my granddaughter that had tufts in it. Oh my. That feels amazing. It's got sparkly. Anywho's. So I had this fiber left and I tried to spin with it, but I only had a few minutes to play around. We definitely weren't getting along very well. Beach bonfire. It's 100% merino. There should be one more. Yes. See if there was anything else. Glitzy Ocean. What's that look like? 70% merino, 30% nylon. I don't know that it feels as nice as the raspberry. Look at the shimmery. Did I need another hobby? No. But it found me anyway. So that's not yarn yet. Do we have to add it to the stash? That's a question. What else came? Oh, Yarnable for March. The yarn subscription service. This was the main skein for March. It is Happy Camper. And then the 50-gram mini that I get to go with it is Clover Road. Very nice. I don't know why. Absolutely lovely. Okay. What else? Oh, more questionable decisions. The March Freckled Whimsy. I do like it. It is the Christmassy Yarn Club Year 2, March 2026 Santa Paws. I like. More questionable decisions. Oh, Lolo did it. She has a whatnot group that she does auctions in once or twice a week. Why would I even click on there? Because I definitely didn't need this, even though it is the USA sock base sugar plum. She's not going to be carrying this base because she can't keep it in stock. The supplier, she can't get the quantity that she needs from the supplier on a consistent basis. And that's paired with That's Amore, which is one of my, I have a alpaca fluff that I'm using in my Mohair shawl. Definitely didn't need that. And then she had this on there. The alpaca fluff Psycho Barbie. And I have, I'm not sure if she's getting rid of this base. I don't know. I'll see if I can look and see. But I have 2 or 3 other skeins of this that I'm going to use for a sweater. And so I thought, well, if she has it, might as well just grab one lonely skein to go with my others so it can be back with its friends. So soft and pretty. All right. So here's what's currently on the needles. And it's still judging me. I go from one Stephen West shawl to another. This is the Icelandscape Shawl that was in his Hyper Knitalong package. Not sure if you could buy the individual patterns or if you just had to get them all in the bundle. I just get the bundle. Because if you're going to knit 2 of the things, you might as well get the bundle and get all of the different patterns. Is there a blanket pattern in there? I think there's a blanket pattern. This shawl maybe another one. Is there a sweater? Anyway, it has all kinds of different patterns in there. So I'm still working on it. I finished color 4 of the short row mountains, and I'm currently knitting on the way back to the beginning of the right side row so that I can change yarns. Is there anything else for today? Oh, yes. The other thing we need to talk about, and I did not grab what I need for it. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. You won't even notice I'm gone. Okay. I have a friend. Okay, I have several friends. One of my friends asked if I would make a baby blanket for one of their coworkers. So I said sure. And we discussed some things. And then I bought some yarn. So my first question is, since this is yarn purchased for something that someone is paying me to make for them, it's not a yarn that I would keep in my collection, should I say? Do I count this as coming into my stash? You know, it's in my stash numbers. I don't have, you know, my acrylic yarns or my cotton yarns for doing dishcloths and the such. I don't, you know, I don't have any of that listed in my stash numbers because, you know, that would add a whole lot more. And I just don't use it unless it's, you know, for something. So these are the colors that I have. And it's from, the yarn is Stylecraft Special DK. I have 3 of each color. And I'll put a picture in here of the blanket I'm going to make. It's the Rainbow Ripple baby blanket. And I need to get that started. That's looking maybe a little more blue than what it is, because it is a teal, but no. Maybe right there in the sunlight, that bit that you can't see. Anywho's, I don't want to count it as my stash numbers. I'm not keeping it to work on. You know what I mean? Is that bad? Should I have to put this in my stash? I don't know. What do you think? So anyway, I'll be doing that. Do I have the name, the colors? Cream, duck egg, which I think that's a bit bluer than what it really is. Sage, that's way too green. It's not that bright. And then the teal. So I have 3 of each color. I don't know how many yards or how many grams those all are. Couldn't be bothered to know. I just knew I wanted to buy enough at one time to make this blanket that I haven't ever made. But it's crochet, so it shouldn't be too bad. This week's couch blankie really isn't a blanket. It's a shawl. Oh, where is my other one? Come here, Mohair. So, we saw where clue 1 ended on the Mohair. Mohair mobile. Oh, there's a sticker. This was last year's MusiKAL. Was it MusiKAL? Some music. And Stephen West and his crazy design mind, right? So you started off, you knit this little thing with these 3 welts. Then you knit this one. Then you added this one on. Then you came back and added this one on, and then this one. And that was clue 1. Where did we go from there? How to put them all together. Oh, and then that one. I guess there was a 6th one there. And then I think we did like this little wavy section. And then we came back and added this section on. And then these checkers. And then the edging. You know, so when we were doing this section here with all this wavy bit and how it fans out and gets bigger on this end, see how it's all bunched up and tight here. So this is all an I-cord that we bound off when we were making this. When we were making this, we did this I-cord here. And then you picked it up to do all of this. Most people, when they knit, you know, when they design things, an I-cord is an edge. Well, not for Stephen West. Before I toss this to the side, this one was used. Trying to remember if they are all Lolo Did It. I think all of the main yarns are Lolo Did It, but it has this mohair in here. There's yellow and a blue mohair. See on the back side of this brioche, this blue rib is the mohair. And I think that one is not Lolo Did It. I think it's a candy shop. I think. I don't know. Anywho's. But the rest of it is Lolo Did It yarn. It was all used knitting from my stash. I did not buy any yarn for this shawl last year. Yay me. So, then this was his Mystery Knitalong shawl the year before. Go Dynamo. This one, we knit like this rainbow section here. We knit that one. Put it on hold. Or waste yarn. Knit this one. There's 3 of them that we knit. You know, you'd knit one, put it on waste yarn to hold it, start a new one, put it on waste yarn, and start a new one. Then we came back and we knit this little triangle stripey section. Not the bubbles, just this triangle bit. And then we knit it onto this. Then the next one, we knit here and attached it to this one as we were knitting. attached it, and then we knit that one onto the side. And then we knit the bubbles and this brioche bit, bubbles, brioche bit, bubbles. Then we had to do the short row wedges from MKAL. Then we came back and we picked up here along the edge of all this that we had done, and we knit these sections. And then we came back and finished the border. This is all Lolo did at yarn. This hair black. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So this black is her, it's a Star Wars color. Revenge of the Fifth. And it's black and has all kinds of different colored speckles. It's probably my favorite yarn. I did not buy any of it this year. Well, May of 25, I did not buy any. I have some ends I need to cut off. They're all woven in. I was just waiting to be blocked. I missed them. That whole section. Anyway, so I had these over here just to show where are we going next on this one. Right? At the end of this was 400 stitches. So where are we going to go next? How did I get so... you know, you can't put it past him to pick up here along this I-cord. These are all on hold, right? I have it on that try it on tubing that I buy. Oh, it's over there. I buy a big cone of it. Can't put it past him to pick up along these at some point in time, because I don't think we're just going to leave these out here hanging out. Is it going to be like his twist and turn shawl, where we do some kind of funny business in here? It doesn't have to be knit solid in through there. You know, you can't put it past him to do I-cords and make those cables like that twist and turns shawl. So I don't know. You know, could we be picking up little sections along here? And so he has you put most of this on, or as you put this on here, and then you'll, you know, come in and work 10, 20, 15 stitches, and then move over and work more, and then move over and work more, because he's been known to do that. So the big question we all have is, where are we going from here? Because we're going to go somewhere, and with Stephen West, you know, you never know what that crazy mind has got cooked up for next week. sure I don't have anything else. I don't think so. I do have to give a shout out and say hi, kiddos, if the grands are watching. They had to call me on FaceTime the other day and tell me that they saw me on TV, but I did not see them. So we had to FaceTime and talk about that. So, hi, kiddos, if you're watching. And that's the yarn situation we have for today. I'll see you next time.